and welcome to All for United WFC with me, Matt Crane. I'm joined by Anthony and John this morning for our Matchday Live preview. How are we both doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. So, obviously, team news is out this morning. Our starting 11, there's a few changes as well. I'm going to come to you first, Anthony. Team news surprised you? Happy with it?
Yeah, there was a couple of surprising inclusions. After coming back from injury, I didn't expect Stansforth to start. Possibly having the friendly last week may have helped Casey in her decision. Rest not playing. Apparently, she picked a knock. Unless Casey talks about it, we don't find about it until they submit the lineup, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not very helpful. And Martha, I wasn't sure if Martha was fit, but obviously she's back, which is hopefully she'll get a bit of a longer run out than her last appearance.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm happy with the lineup. Maybe with the exception of Ladd, I always think we're better defensively with Ladd there.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. John, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, I know you mentioned a few days ago, didn't you, on your Twitter about the inclusion of Jess, and obviously that's happened. So do you want to sort of talk through with your team news and your views on it?
Yeah, I'm really happy with Jess. I think because of the injuries that we do have up front, it's either going to be Jess or Jane Ross. So maybe with the tenacity that Jess has got, that might have won Casey over perhaps on this one. But yeah, a couple of surprises. I'm not too surprised about the Martha Harris one. I know obviously it was a toss of the coin between Martha or Amy Turner as a fullback, but at the end of the day, Martha Harris is more of a fullback. So we saw her on that little glimpse on one of those little Instagram clips. So we saw that Martha was playing right back there, so that wasn't a massive surprise. I think Harry Ladd not being in the team in the starting 11 is a surprise. However, we have seen it before, haven't we, this season? We've seen it probably 3 or 4 times this season where Harry has been left out to play an extra creative midfielder. So it's great to see Lucy back. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I think there's a lot of energy on the pitch. Great to see Tooney getting that start with Jackie and Jeff. There's going to be a lot of running and pacing down there. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, I think you both touched on it in terms of, like, say, Hayley. I think for me, again, I've gone on about Hayley a lot. I mean, some may say it's only Aston Villa, but for me, I think it's important to get this right now. I think after a bad run, so for me, maybe it's just rested and rotated, which is absolutely fine, but, we'll never know. And obviously, Anthony, you mentioned the big one, didn't you, with Kristen Press being out, slight knock, which obviously we didn't know about. There's a little bit of a blow, but again, she's come off the back of sort of internationals, and she might pick something up there in training. We don't know. But I think, I was like you, John. I'd said as well, I'd be happy with Jess there in a central role. Looks like we've got that as well. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can pick up the win. Benny's gone brave. He's gone 4-0. So, but yeah, I think, like you say, obviously, again, something Anthony mentioned was the inclusion of Staniforth. I heard she only played half of that friendly last week against Sheffield. So obviously, she must have been working on her fitness and training, probably, in her spare time and after training as well, sort of building up those minutes, which is great, but it's good to see her back. I think she had something different in that midfield in terms of her attacking sort of ways. She's very physical, so maybe that's sort of another reason why Hayley's sort of rested. Could be that Staniforth can more than sort of, put herself about. And then obviously, like you both said, Martha Harris, obviously, is the specialist right back. But for me, I actually said to you, didn't I, John? I thought that, Maria would probably go centre-back with Millie and Amy right back just to jig it around a little bit. But we've got Martha back, so happy days. Anthony, I'm going to come to you for sort of a score prediction then. What we're saying today.
Oh, I'll be confident and I'll give Mary a birthday clean sheet. I'll say 3-0 United.
3-0, yeah. I think I'd said that as well on a couple of shows. I think, John, did you go with 3-0 as well?
Yeah, I got 3-0. One thing just about the lineup, though, before we finish, there is one other alternative. So we know that Jess can play out wide as well. So with Julie being in good goal, could it be Hampton on one side Jess on the other side, and Tooney up front. Something
Possibly.
completely different. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. It's just something different. It's not something that we usually see, and we all like to see Jess up front. But we talked about that fluidity. Maybe they've got a little surprise up the sleeve there, maybe. And one last thing about Lucy Sanford as well. Maybe she wouldn't have got that chance if Beth hadn't took that knock as well. So maybe something's come there where maybe Lucy wasn't planning on starting today, but if Christian has took that knock quite recently, then maybe that's probably had some impact on the decision there. Maybe.
Yeah. Go on, Anthony.
I think I would prefer Jess up front. I know she can play on the wing, but compared to Tooney, she's stronger and more physical, and I think that's what you need in the middle. She can header the ball, as we know. Tooney's not so good, so.
No, fair enough. Just looking now at our bench, obviously, it's well documented how bad our injuries are. Looking, it's quite light. Do either of you see maybe, there's 2 development players on there. There's Carrie Jones and there's Tara Bourne. Do either of you see any of them 2 coming on, or do you think it'd be more the likes of Ross, Fuso and Ladd that we sort of see, if anybody?
Depends.
Go on, Anthony.
It depends how the game goes. If we're winning comfortably, then she may give one of the devs a chance. But knowing Casey, it will probably be the normal level. Like when we played Everton last year and we were comfortable and we were in 3-0, you thought, yeah, this might have been a chance to give Amy Palmer a run out. And he never did. And obviously we know it wasn't as comfortable in the end as we have liked. But then you look at the Reading FA Cup or the Conti Cup, she brought Chloe Williams on. So I don't know what Casey's thinking sometimes.
Yeah, John?
I think if we do see them, then like Anthony says, we must be in a good position if we do see those come on. We've only got Ross and Fuso that's really there for goals, in my opinion. So if it is still 0-0 with 20 minutes to go, then it's going to be one of those that's got to come on, isn't it? Which is still good because we know that either of those can create or score goals. I'm looking to see a lot more of Fuso. This could be a game where Fuso will come on, whether we need a goal or not. That would help her. But yeah, as for the youngsters, I think only if we're winning with like 15, 20 minutes to go. But yeah, I'd love to see that, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree. I think Fuso, when sort of they tire, I think for me it's going to be a measure of how well sort of fitness is, especially after an international break. And I think Fuso is a great option with her pace and her speed for sort of, I'd say, when Villa get tired. So it will be interesting. But, like you both, I think I'd love to see one, maybe even both the development players come on, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. I think just giving them that sort of first team action exposure can be absolutely massive. Just before we finish up, I just want to touch on Villa. Just looking sort of, at their team and what they may offer. I'll come to you first, John. What do you think? I don't know if you've looked at the lineup, but what do you think might be sort of their key areas today for them, or sort of the key parts of their play?
Yeah, I haven't seen the starting lineup, but from listening to what Chloe, the Villa supporter, said on our podcast last week, she was quite confident in their midfield. Yeah. Very confident in one of the strikers, but not very confident in their defence. So I think if we can win that midfield battle, then it looks good for us, and I'm sure we will. But I also know that with Mana in her also form, or the way she's been playing, that obviously you just got to be mindful at the back. Because don't forget, if we're going to start dominating possession, it's quite easy to switch off at the back, isn't it? And that's obviously what we can't do today.
Yeah, yourself, Anthony. Obviously, John's mentioned Manu Ibuchi. Is that somebody we need to sort of be on our toes for, seeing how good she's been the last few weeks?
Definitely. That's the Japanese who was linked with Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously I read about that on Twitter, and that's really other than her and Jodie Hutton, I've not really heard of any of the other Villa players.
Yeah.
But as in the case, it's the normal. We'll have plenty of possession of the ball, and when they do have it, we need to make sure we're tight and don't get caught over the top, which does happen more often than not, unfortunately, sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've had a look, and Jodie Hutton is in there for Villa. So,
Yeah,
like I
I'd
say,
say.
that ball over the top. Again, Iwabuchi with those key passes that she makes, and like I say, obviously Hutton with a pace. We will need to obviously be on our guard. But yeah, I think overall, positive of a win, and hopefully, we can, like I say, get out there, get it done early, take our chances, and finish it off. So I'm going to wrap it there. Obviously, cautious of time and letting everybody get on to get ready and watch the game. So we are back at half time, the three of us, and we will be analysing the first half. If anyone wants to drop comments on the All for United MUFC Twitter, then do that, and we'll try and hopefully work through any comments or any questions or any thoughts you've got at half time. So thanks to John and Anthony for joining me, and we will see you all at half time.
Cheers.